What is up, Pats Nation? It is Patriots Global here with another video, and today is a very exciting video. Gets us one step closer to finally getting to that, Patriots Super Bowl banner drop, most importantly, back to football season. So, for every NFL team, their new schedule for the 2019-2020 season has been dropped, and in today's video, I'm going to go through that entire list from week 1 to week 17, and I want to start off by saying this is not going to be my, win or loss video. That does come later, in a few months. That comes because we haven't even hit the NFL draft yet. So many teams are still building. They're going to be adding players, cutting players, trading players. There's 32 teams that are still going into this draft, so it would not be an accurate win-loss type of statement, so that is going to be a much later video. But if you want to let me know what teams you think the Patriots could win or lose that I name, make sure you guys let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, so week 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to come down to Foxborough and play against the Patriots on Sunday Night Football on September 8th. Sadly, the Patriots don't get that first game of the season because of some NFL reunion that, the NFL is doing, so they want to have the first game be the Packers and Bears for some stupid reason, but whatever, the Patriots will play on Sunday Night Football. And the first thing that jumps out to me when I heard about this was I had flashbacks from the, I believe, 2015 season, right after the Patriots had won Super Bowl 49. The following season, they had started their season, I should say, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And honestly, I'm pretty okay with this. There was so many rumors going around that the Patriots were going to be playing the Chiefs, and I was not for that, as the Patriots played the Chiefs last time that they had won the Super Bowl, so I wasn't really all for that. Play the Chiefs later in the season, but not week 1, so I'm pretty happy. It's going to be against the Steelers, a pretty, good team, a team that it could go either way, so it's not a team like, the Bills or the Jets or anything like that, but then again, you're not going to be playing a team like the Chiefs. And of course, this game is going to be when the Patriots, have that whole rally for this new Super Bowl banner. That's when they're going to drop this Super Bowl banner. They're going to have those logos on their jerseys saying Super Bowl 53 champs. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good game. Hopefully the Patriots can come out with a win on this one, because as we all know, the Patriots seem to always beat the Steelers. Now and then the Steelers will beat the Patriots, but for the most part, the Patriots beat the Steelers. But last season when the Patriots played, it didn't go in their favor. So hopefully the Patriots can start off their season the right way and get the ball rolling. As we all know, the Steelers have had a lot of drama surrounding them this offseason, and I mean, pretty much just this past season as a whole, but this offseason really just has not been in their favor, and as Pats fans, we know what that drama can do. That drama can really take a toll on a team, and, they lost already guys like Antonio Brown. Not to mention the fact that they also traded one of their offensive linemen. The Steelers have already done so many things, and they have just so many issues, so I'm really betting and hoping that the Patriots can just start off this week 1 right and just get the ball rolling, like I said. Alright, so then we go to week 2, and the Patriots are at Miami on September 15th. Obviously, this is where the Patriots kind of reconnect with Brian Flores. The Patriots is not defensive coordinator, but yet defensive coordinator, but longtime linebacker coach that has left to be their head coach, but also all of the other coaches that have been taken from the Patriots in order to go to Miami. So the Patriots will be meeting back up with them. And I mean, Patriots usually play at the Dolphins much later into the season, so it's very interesting that that is week 2. But the Patriots just seem to always struggle when they are at Miami. Miami's a tough team to play, but playing in their stadium, the Patriots just always seem to have issues there. But at the same time, this Dolphins team is kind of still up in the air. I mean, their quarterback situation is very touchy. You got rid of your franchise quarterback, you sent him to the Titans, and then you sign Fitzmagic, who can be good, and then he can play like trash. So it all depends on how he's going to start the season. But then on the other side of the ball, you already got rid of guys like Robert Quinn, who maybe didn't play out the way that they were hoping, but still was fairly productive for them last season. But, in the end, Brian Flores knows this team better than pretty much anyone else. Well, I'm not going to say anyone else because there is guys like Matt Patricia, but Patriots are not playing Matt Patricia this year. So ultimately, Brian Flores knows this team. He knows this defense very well, and he can use that as a huge advantage, as I'm sure he will. Last year when we played the Lions, we saw Matt Patricia do that. So now that we are playing, a divisional rival, that is something that Brian Flores has over every other team. But as we all know, the Patriots don't actually play regular football in September. If you're a Patriots fan, then you know that September is just a longer, extended version of the Patriots preseason. Week 3, we play another divisional team. So the New York Jets will be coming down to Foxborough on September 22nd. Jets definitely added some, nice pieces. They started to look at that offensive line, and their offensive line has been really a big thing that has pegged them. They got their franchise quarterback in Sam Darnold, but you can't expect Sam Darnold to do much unless that offensive line does something. So they started to go in the right direction when looking at that offensive line. But that offensive line is not where it should be. It's not there. So we'll have to see how they progress, as the offseason goes on. And by the time I get to my video on my wins or losses for the Patriots season, see kind of how they worked around that offensive line. Did they go to the draft? Did they make any more trades? Did they make any signings for free agents that are still left? But then they also added guys like Le'Veon Bell, who was a top running back before, obviously he left and kind of took a break from football because he didn't want to be a part of the Steelers and he wanted that big long-term deal. Patriots have always been able to contain Le'Veon Bell pretty well, but let's also keep in mind that we will now be seeing Le'Veon Bell twice a year instead of one like we did with the Steelers. Le'Veon Bell also has been out for a while. It's said that he's actually gained a good amount of weight too, so I'll be curious to see if him missing a lot of time with football either helped him or if it pegged him along with some of the weight that he's gained. Either way, it's going to take Le'Veon Bell some time to get back to the NFL, to adjust to the NFL, and I don't think that, by week 3 he pops into getting into his normal mindset and physicality that he's used to. But again, it goes back to that offensive line, because if they don't have that offensive line, then the Jets won't be able to protect Sam Darnold, which ultimately means that nothing's going to be happening with receivers, but it also means that Le'Veon Bell will not have any blockers, which means he's not really going to be going anywhere either. But the Jets definitely did upgrade. They got a guy who can run, but they also most importantly got a guy who can catch balls out of the backfield, because Le'Veon Bell has just always been so dynamic and so elite in that area. He can be on the field and he could either run or he could go for a pass, and he's deadly in both areas. Then you kind of look at the defensive standpoint, and they have definitely started to upgrade on the defense. They got CJ Mosley, I believe, the linebacker from the Ravens, and he's definitely a nice upgrade. A guy that, they can plug in and will help them. But I don't think that he solves all of their problems. He definitely helps, but he doesn't solve all their problems. Now, the Jets do have a top pick in this year's draft, so I'll be very curious on what they do. Do they get an edge rusher like that's been going around? Do they go for a cornerback, as they could use some help in that secondary? I'll be curious, but in the end, I don't really see week 3 Jets being, much of a threat to the Patriots. Week 4 is another divisional game where the Patriots will be at the Buffalo Bills on September 29th. Most people will not give credit whatsoever to this Bills team, but they have been building something nice, and for the past few years they have had a pretty nice defense, and you can't really argue with that. It's really mostly been their offense, but you look at who they've added, guys like, Cole Beasley, who is definitely an upgrade from the wide receiver that they had before, because, let's pause this for a second and take a second to realize that the Bills for a while have not had really any offensive weapons, nor at running back, really, because LaShawn McCoy has not really been much of anything for the past few years, but especially at wide receiver, and they have really upgraded at wide receiver, again, with Cole Beasley, John Brown. Then you look at who they added at running back, a guy like Frank Gore, who maybe is not elite, but he has, that power. He has that ability to be something, and we saw that last year when he was with the Dolphins and the Patriots played the Dolphins, that Frank Gore can definitely do something. So they have the coach to be able to do something. Obviously, he is not a mastermind of a coach, but he is definitely a pretty decent coach, a guy that has done stuff for the team. They have that defense. Definitely some areas that they can still upgrade, but they have a pretty good defense that can get some stuff done. And like I mentioned, they added wide receiver. They added some running back depth. The biggest thing to me all comes down to what do they do about that offensive line? Because you have your quarterback, you have your franchise quarterback, in Josh Allen, a guy who can throw the ball, but a guy who can also scramble and run. But the Bills have a terrible offensive line. They couldn't get anything done. They couldn't get anything done in the run game. They couldn't get anything done in the pass game because their quarterback could barely get the ball off. And I look at their transactions and what they've done with their offensive line, and they have brought in a lot of guys throughout this offensive line. They brought in guards, centers, tackles. One of those tackles being, Patriot, a longtime Patriot in Adrian Waddle. Now, how reliable are these offensive linemen going to be? I don't totally know. It's not like they have gone and, made these huge signings when it comes to the offensive line. So it depends on another team on what they do with the draft. But I wouldn't say that they've done enough to just throw the Patriots off. Moving on to week 5, the Patriots will be at the Washington Redskins on October 6th. Not too much to say here. The Washington Redskins really are a team, again, that is up in the air. There's nothing really special about them. Probably one of their best sides is Adrian Peterson, but the Patriots have always done really well actually against Adrian Peterson. And when you look at the fact that they don't really have a quarterback situation, a team that has really been tied back to Josh Rosen a lot, but again, nothing has really been said about them. So again, there's just not much to say about the Redskins. The Patriots will then have a very quick turnaround from the Redskins game because they then go to week 6 versus the New York Giants on Thursday Night Football on October 10th. So the Giants will be coming to Foxborough. Eli Manning, Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, but no OBJ. No OBJ this time. The Giants are tied with the Patriots actually for the most draft capital in this year's draft with 12. They have very nice draft capital though, a lot of first round picks, a lot of moves that they can really make. So I'll be curious on how they approach this year's draft because although they have good draft capital, they could totally fail. I don't necessarily see that happening, but they could. And the Giants are always a team that plays hard against the Patriots. I mean, you go back to a few years ago, the game Julian Edelman actually got injured. That was a very close game. The Patriots just always play close with the Giants. It's just the history. It's how they play. Eli Manning might suck, in weeks prior. He might suck the whole season this past season, but he could play the Patriots and somehow just click. To me, the biggest thing that will scare me is Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley can take advantage of every tiny little hole you have, and the Patriots just are not good at stopping the run. It's something that I think they are trying to focus on more this year, but they're going to focus on it even harder when it comes to going up against Saquon Barkley. That guy can catch a pass as if he's OBJ, but then he can run the ball as if he's Saquon Barkley. And, of course, it will be, again, a very quick turnaround from that Redskins game to this Giants game. The following week, the Patriots will have a little bit more time to rest up and get ready, but not all that much, as they will have another primetime game for Week 7 at the New York Jets, MetLife Stadium, Monday Night Football on October 21st. It's going to be the same situation it was with the Jets before. Maybe they start to pick things up this late into the season, but I mean, primetime games always take a toll on teams. I don't know what it is about primetime games, but they do, and the Patriots have week 6 against the Giants, that Thursday night football, and then week 7 against the Jets, that Monday night football, where they do have to go and travel to the Jets. With 11 days to prepare for the Jets, I would hope that the Patriots would be able to come into this game, Jets blazing, everything firing, and be able to perform pretty well for that Monday night football game. Then you move to week 8, and this is going to be a game a lot of people are waiting for. Me, myself, I'm very excited for this game, where the Cleveland Browns will be coming into Foxborough on October 27th, a day after my birthday, actually. So hopefully the Patriots can give me a late birthday gift and come out with this W. But I'll tell you, I am excited for Cleveland to come to our stadium in Foxborough, Mass. You have Baker Mayfield, a guy who can do it all. This guy is accurate. This guy can freaking ball. He can just straight up drop a dime, but yet at the same time, he can also scramble. But then you also mix in everybody else they have. I'm not 100% sure if Kareem Hunt will be reinstated into the NFL by then. I forget exactly how long his suspension is for the whole abusing a woman charges and all. So I'm not 100% sure if he will be there, but they do already have a good running back in Nick Chubb and company. But then at wide receiver is probably the scariest thing that these guys got. I mean, I'll just name the 2 guys that you have to be scared of. And it should say it enough. You have Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. It's going to be one hell of a day for that Patriots, secondary, but even the 7 guys up front on the Patriots defensive line. So as a unit, that Patriots defense is going to have a long day, but really, really have to try to pick it up. The newbie in Baker Mayfield will be coming into the legend Tom Brady's house, Tom Brady's threshold. This is what he does. And ultimately we're going to have to see, because with the Browns' new coaching staff, that's something that really was holding them back for a long time, was their coaching staff. That's something I said for a long time. Finally, they changed their coaching staff, and they start doing well. So to me, it ultimately will have to see how their coaching staff plays out for them, for these 7 weeks prior. Moving on to week 9, the Patriots will have another primetime game. They will be going to Baltimore to be playing the Ravens on November 3rd. Another Sunday night football game. Honestly, I like primetime games. I enjoy watching these primetime games. For some reason, just people don't like these primetime games. I'm not 100% sure why. But, in fact, let me know what your guys' thoughts on primetime games in the comments below. Do you like these games? Do you not? Again, I personally do. But you will have, them going up against guys like Lamar Jackson, who is more of a running back than he actually is a quarterback. And that is something in itself that scares me. Genuinely, because the Patriots have issues with scrambling quarterbacks. They let Josh McCown scramble all over them, and that's Josh McCown. Then you put in the fact that this is Lamar Jackson, again, a guy who is more of a running back than he is a quarterback, and it can get a bit iffy. The Patriots, again, will really have to establish this defensive line, guys who can really contain this quarterback, and if they can put pressure on him and contain him, then I feel very good about this. But if we're going to look at history and how the Patriots do with those, it does get worrisome. They have lost some guys, again, in C.J. Mosley, I believe it was, to the Jets, that linebacker, and then they picked up guys, safety in Earl Thomas. Now, Earl Thomas, of course, is coming off a pretty big injury, has been in football for a while, so I'll be curious to see how he does. Again, this is later in the season, so by then he should have picked things up, but they've lost some pieces, they've added some pieces. Ultimately, this will be a good game. Again, Ravens are another team that always play the Patriots pretty hard, and in a primetime game, you never know what can happen. Week 10 comes the Patriots bye week, a week that we sadly don't get football, but most importantly, the team gets to rest up, they get to get healthier, they get to start game planning for the rest of the season. And from the games we've already said, there's been some tough ones, but I look at the games coming after this bye week, and the Patriots, let me tell you, the Patriots are going to need this bye week. So after the bye week, week 11, the Patriots go to the Philadelphia Eagles on November 17th. Of course, people are going to see this as a rematch of Super Bowl 52. Now, of course, the Patriots didn't play the Eagles last season, but they did play them in the preseason. Of course, the Patriots beat them in the preseason. But the Eagles are another team that in the regular season play the Patriots pretty hard. I don't know the last time the Patriots actually beat the Philadelphia Eagles in the regular season. Now, of course, they don't play the Eagles really often in the regular season, but I remember the last time that they played the Eagles, the Patriots lost pretty brutally, but at the same time, that's because the only starter for the Patriots that game was actually Tom Brady. Of course, we all know Eagles fans holding on to that Super Bowl win, that it's going to come in guns blazing with both the Eagles fan base, but even the Eagles players and guys like Lane Johnson who could not keep their mouth shut. But let me tell you guys, it's not like these Patriots players and coaching staff do not know about this. They've added Eagles fans, they've added Lane Johnson, so this will be a very interesting game. Of course, they don't have Nick Foles, so this will be the Patriots' first time really playing against Carson Wentz, of course, if he's healthy, but it won't be a Brady versus Nick Foles game anymore. And of course, Michael Bennett will be reuniting with that old team that he was with last year. Very excited for this game. Of course, again, this game will be played in Philadelphia, and I'll tell you, them Philadelphia fans can be pretty dang crazy, so a game that could go either way, but I'm excited for that one. Week 12, the Patriots go back home to Foxborough, where the Dallas Cowboys are going to come again to Foxborough on November 24th. I like this game. Again, Patriots don't really play Dallas that often, but when they do, they seem to do pretty well. Now, of course, there will not be a Tom Brady, Tony Romo game anymore. This will be a Tom Brady, Dak Prescott type of game. Dak Prescott's only really good season came his rookie season. Ever since then, he's had some issues, things that the Patriots could definitely take advantage of, but another quarterback that does scramble, so the Patriots will have to learn to contain him. But most importantly, who they are going to have to contain. Now, you can make the argument of Amari Cooper, but in my honest-to-God opinion, the guy that is going to be most important in stopping is Big Zeke. Ezekiel Elliott is the guy that you're going to have to stop. This guy is a hardcore runner, but most importantly, his ability comes in that yards after, contact type of thing. He can catch passes out of the backfield, but he is a very big and fast power back. I look at the Dallas Cowboys, defense, and that's not something that totally worries me. They do have some nice pieces, but nothing crazy. But of course, another team we'll have to look at, post-draft. Week 13, the Patriots will be at the Houston Texans for another primetime game for Sunday Night Football on December 1st. Of course, Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins. Now, they haven't made any crazy acquisitions, and I'm actually looking at who they have signed and released through, out this offseason, and there's truly no one that really jumps onto me for guys that they have signed that really scares me. But obviously they have a pretty nice team. The Patriots demolished them week 1 of last season. And of course, Patriots wide receiver Demaryius Thomas will be going up against his old team that he was with for a couple weeks. Of course, that is if he lasts that long with the Patriots. Patriots really do just have a lot of primetime games again this year, but something that I look at the schedule, and it's very spread out in terms of, it's not like it was last year where it was like, oh, okay, the Patriots are going to be away for like 4 weeks, and then they're going to be home for like another 6 weeks, and then after that, they're going to go away for 3 games and then be home for another 2. Like, it's not like that. It is a lot of like, 1 week you're home, 1 week you're not, 1 week you're home, 1 week you're not, 1 week you're home, and 1 week you're not. It's very, very spaced out, which could be good, could be bad. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? I'm honestly not totally sure how I feel about it. but I could see where it could make a difference. That being both good and even bad. I also find it interesting that the Patriots will actually be going to Houston for once and not the other way around. Week 14 is going to be a big one so many people have been waiting for, a rematch of the AFC Championship game for last year. Week 14, the Kansas City Chiefs will be coming to Foxborough on December 8th. Patrick Mahomes again versus Tom Brady. They almost went to the Super Bowl. I mean, if it wasn't for Dee Ford getting off sides, the Patriots might not have even really went to that Super Bowl. Of course, the two times that the Patriots played the Chiefs last season, they beat them twice. And of course, they're coming back to Foxborough, our stadium, our house. They're not going to Arrowhead, so the Patriots definitely have the upper hand there in that aspect. I'm sure a lot of Chiefs fans will be here, going to Foxborough. The players will be really pumped and, peed off at the Patriots for bumping them off. But in the end, are they really going to be able to outbeat the Patriots fans in Foxborough? They got some decent pieces. I mean, they have Tyrann Mathieu, who they added at that safety position, but they also got rid of Eric Berry. They got rid of Justin Houston. They got rid of Dee Ford. So, I mean, they really did lose a lot of decent pieces. Their secondary didn't necessarily get all that better. And their defensive line was one of their best things, but you lost Justin Houston, one of your best pass rushers, and you lost Dee Ford, another one of your best pass rushers. So, again, where does that defense truly come in with the Chiefs? Week 15, the Patriots will travel to Cincinnati to play the Bengals on December 15th. Not, again, too much to say about this one. It's the Bengals. There's nothing crazy with them. I don't even think they 100% have their quarterback situation figured out. And really their top threat is AJ Green. They got rid of Vontaze Burfict, their, very dirty linebacker. So again, there's just not much to say about that game. That's not a game that crazy jumps out at me or anything like that. But yeah, again, that will be week 15, and the Patriots will travel to Cincinnati. Now moving on to week 16, the Patriots will play the Buffalo Bills. But this time, the Buffalo Bills are going to be coming to Foxborough, and that is actually how the Patriots are going to end their season, is actually playing at home, because in week 17, they also play at home. But yeah, again, week 16, Buffalo Bills will come to Foxborough on December 22nd. The Bills play hard against the Patriots, but they never really are able to actually beat them at home. The Patriots just always seem to come out on top against the Bills when playing at home. Now moving on to week 17. Again, this is a home game for the Patriots. The Miami Dolphins will be coming to Foxborough to be playing the Patriots again. That is Brian Flores. Both the Miami Dolphins and the Patriots will be ending their season playing each other, except, the Dolphins will be coming here and the Patriots will end it at home. Just like the Dolphins play well against the Patriots at their stadium, the Patriots always play good against the Dolphins at Foxborough. So I feel pretty good about the chances here. Of course, who knows what's going to be happening with injuries on both sides. But the Patriots will finish it off with some fairly easier teams. So that is your 2019-2020 Patriots full season. That's your entire season with, the dates, the weeks, the bye weeks, the primetime games, both Thursday, Monday, and Sunday. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. Also, remember that I will be doing my wins and losses video, but later into the season, post-draft, and just later on when we get closer to the actual regular season. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Again, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, as it helps me, the channel, and even you guys out very, very, very much. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows and go to the Patriots Global family. Other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.
In Astro World.